right, welcome to another edition of Ask Ra. I'm your host, Ra the Great. The question is, what are all the rules to the king? Legal and illegal moves, so that's what we're going to go over today. So we have in the center of the board our chocolate king, the chocolate king of Chicago. Chocolate king, the story goes, he's a very rich, old man. He's over 115 years old. He is full of chocolate and he loves chocolate very much. He eats it every single day, morning, noon, and night. Chocolate cereal for breakfast, chocolate hot dogs for lunch, chocolate steak for dinner. In fact, he loves chocolate so much that if he thought that you were made of chocolate, he might try to eat you. Ah! You never know. But because the chocolate king eats so much chocolate, it causes him to move extremely slow on the chessboard, so slow that he can only move one square at a time. That's why we say the king moves one square anywhere. I said one square anywhere. So the king can move one square in any direction. So we're going to be talking about some of the legal and illegal moves and all of the rules that pertain to the king. So we must know first how he moves. He can move one square any direction, north, south, east, west, diagonal lines. So you go up, the king can go down, he can move to the side, and of course, he can move diagonal. So the king can move one square in any direction. One square anywhere. I said one square anywhere. One square in any direction. He cannot move two squares, only when he's castling. So two squares are a no. But as long as it's one square in any direction, he can move there. So that means if I put the king in the corner of the board and I asked you how many squares are available for the king to move to, what would you say? If you said 3, then you are correct. 1, 2, 3. There are 3 squares that the king can move to from right here on the board. How about if the king is right here? How many squares are available for the king to move to? Go! All right, if you said 5, then you are correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There are 5 squares for the king to move to. What if I put the king here and I ask you how many squares are safe for the king to move to? What would you say? Hopefully you said 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But like we said, the king has rules, very specific rules. Let's get to some of those. Rule number 1 that we're going to talk about, that the king can never move next to another king. Kings must stay at least 1 square apart, at least 1 square apart, at least 1 square apart. So the kings can never move next to each other. They can never shake hands. They can never hug. This king cannot move there. This king cannot move there. Same for this king. He cannot move here. He cannot move here. He cannot move here. Because kings keep what we call a buffer in between them. It's like a force field. They cannot come next to each other. It's like moving into danger. So kings must stay at least 1 square apart. This is a very important rule in chess. So if I ask you now, how many squares are safe for this chocolate king to move to, what would you say? Hopefully you said 5. If you said 5, you are correct. The king cannot move here. No, no, no. But he can move to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares. The answer would be 5. Let me give you another one just to make sure you got it. If I put the king there and I put this king here, how many squares are safe for this chocolate king to move to? Okay, let's see what you said. You should have said 3 squares. Let's look. Can he move to this square? This would be a no. He can't move next to the king. He can move there. That's 1. This would be a no. That's next to the king. He can move there. That's 2. And he can move there. That is 3. So the answer in this situation would be 3 squares are safe. All right. So that's one of the very important rules about the king. Another very important rule is that a king can never move into danger. He never moves into danger. So a king can never move into danger. That means if I put a king here and I put a rook here, I'm going to just take this king, I'm going to put him in the corner for now. Let's focus on this rook. We know that rooks move up, down, side to side. I said up, down, side to side. So if that's the case, that means this rook is shooting his laser completely down the board right here. And he's shooting his laser across the top of the board here because he moves up, down, side to side. This means that the king, since he can never move into danger, that means he cannot move into this zone right here because of the rook's laser. So now the king is not authorized to move here because he will get electrocuted by the laser. So if he tried to move here, that's what will happen. Same thing here, same thing here. So the king cannot move to these three squares because of the laser. Now, how many squares are safe for the king to move to right now? So we know he can't move to these three, but he can move here, he can move here, he can move here, he can move here, and he can move here. That brings us to a total of 5 safe squares. So right now it is safe for the king to move to 5 squares. Let's go ahead and give you a problem. I'm going to put the rook here, put the king here. Based off of what we have learned so far, you should be able to tell me how many squares are safe for this chocolate king to move to. Go ahead and take a second. Look at the board carefully. We know that a king cannot move into danger, and he cannot move next to another king. How many squares are safe? All right, coming back in. Let's see, you should have said 2, but let's see if that is correct. The king cannot move here, here, or here because of the rook. The rook moves up, down, side to side. I said up, down, side to side. So this rook is attacking this entire 6th rank. King cannot move up at all because of the rook. Can he move down? Well, let's see. No, no, no. He cannot move down because of the king. So that leaves 2 squares that are safe. That's to the left and to the right. These 2 squares are safe. The king can never move into danger. The king can never move next to another king. Now there's another rule that we must talk about, and that is that a king can never be captured. He never comes off the board. He never comes off the board. The king, he never comes off the board. Shout out to the chess dude, which is my dad. He made up that song. All right, so the king can never come off the board. You win the game by getting a checkmate. You do not win a game by capturing a king. All right, since this is the GMG study hall, a lot of you already know we deal with this all the time in our classes where students make mistakes like this. This is what happens. They'll grab their king without thinking. They'll move to a square like this. And then somebody will come along, capture the king, take him off the board, and come running to me saying, Mr. Mr. Rah-Rah, I got a checkmate, look at me, la la la. No, can't do this. It's not okay. Can't capture a king. Playing a blitz game with the chess clock, fine, you can capture a king then. But in tournament style play, you can never capture a king because he never comes off the board. So what do we have to do in this situation? This happened, they run to me, they scream they want a checkmate. I say no, let's back up and see what happened. So where was your king? They tell me their king was here. I say, great, now where was your rook? Well, my rook was here. All right, well, what was the last move that Chocolate made? Well, I moved my king from here to here. Well, then that's your mistake. That's an illegal move. You cannot move your king into danger. He never moves into danger. He never moves into danger. So the king cannot move to this square. It is both teams' responsibility to notice this, that the king cannot move into a poisoned square. He cannot move into check. He cannot move into danger. So this is an illegal move. This king will have to move only here, or his only 2 options. All right? So a king can never move next to another king. A king can never be captured. He never comes off the board. That's 2. And the third one, well, he can't move next to another king. There's something else we need to talk about, though. So we said a king can never move into danger. So along those same lines, we need to talk about how a king can never make a move that puts him in danger. Mr. Rara, what in the world are you talking about? Let me give you an example. Some of us, we learn by visuals. That someone is me. So I'm going to help you out here. We are going to set up a situation. And we are going to put this rook right here. I am also going to put, let's put a bishop right here. And let's go ahead and put a queen for giggles right there. Here's our situation. And let's say it is Vanella's turn. Well, Vanella wants to make an obvious move. Vanella would love to capture this queen right now with the rook. So the rook wants to come over across the board and squish! And take the queen off of the board. My question to you, is that a legal or an illegal move? Let's look at it again. The rook is here. The queen is here. The rook wants to move across the board and squish the queen and take her off of the board. Is this a legal or an illegal move? Based on what you have learned today, your answer should be illegal. Why? We said the king can never move into danger, but he can also never make a move that will put his team in danger or put the king in danger. What happened here? The rook is right here. The bishop has his laser shooting across the board. Now right now the king is not in danger. He is safe. However, this rook is pinned. This is an absolute pin. This rook cannot move anywhere. He cannot move here to try to put the king in check. He cannot move out of the way of the bishop's attack, because anywhere that this rook moves, it allows that bishop to put the king in danger. And you cannot make a move in chess that puts your king in danger. This is illegal and very important. So this means that this rook is pinned, absolutely. So he cannot move. So these are the things that we want to focus on when we're thinking about the rules of the king, legal and illegal moves. There are more, but these are some of the highlights. King can never move into danger. The king never comes off the board. And the king must stay at least one square apart, at least one square apart. So the kings have to stay at least one square apart. And you can never make a move that puts your king in danger. Those are the highlights. I may have some questions for you later. Be prepared. Proper preparation promotes peak performance. All right. So as you know, you can go to RaRaTheGreat.com, click on Ask Ra, and ask any question you want. We are preparing our students for the GMG, the Grand Match Gala, which will be taking place this month in a few weeks. So we want to get you guys ready. Do everything we can to prepare you for that. Let me know if you have any more questions. I hope you enjoyed the show and got a little bit out of it as well.